Big clash at the Emirates this weekend. Arsenal taking on Manchester United. United go in this clash as favourites, according to the old SPI, but that is my watch out alarm when you take a look at SPI, because it doesn't take into consideration injuries, which of course United have a lot. Plus they've got that eye on Celta Vigo on Thursday in the Europa League.
Can you repeat your horn?
No, don't.
Jose Mourinho says that he will make changes. Do we believe him?
We believe him.
We do.
He's going to make changes, but he's the one who's been talking about how he doesn't have many options. So how many changes can he really make? The truth is that whoever he's got healthy now, he's got to ride those guys in this match and then what's coming up in Europa League. Manchester United should be good enough to play against a Arsenal team that really, what do they have to play for? They're not making the top four. And there's been a real struggle for Arsenal throughout the course of the season. The lack of spirit against Spurs, that was embarrassing from an Arsenal perspective. I look at Arsenal as a team that is floundering. Manchester United has something to play for, even if it is away from home. I like Manchester United.
You like Manchester United here?
Yeah.
Well, this is kind of going back to what we were discussing before. West Ham. Could you draw comparisons to West Ham and Arsenal in a sense that West Ham haven't been very good, neither have Arsenal, but Arsenal taking on one of their bigger rivals?
I'm going to go the other way. If anybody's winning this, it's Arsenal. I think it'll be a draw personally, but if anybody's winning it, I think it's Arsenal. I think they've got far more to play for. You know, when you're a manager, and for me, Mourinho has pretty much told his team that the Premier League is secondary at the moment. I think that's an excuse that footballers will hang on to. You know, that means that Man United go out thinking, well, you know what, if we get a draw, then that's fine.
What excuse have Arsenal been hanging on throughout the course of the season?
No, they're just not good.
Okay.
They're just not good, but they're at home, and, you know, they're talking about they want to play for Wenger.
Oh.
It's about time, but everything points... If somebody's going to win this, it points to Arsenal, but I don't think anybody's going to win it.
Gab, what is your take on this clash?
I mean, first of all, I think if he does make changes, it's well, people haven't noticed he's kind of made changes all season long, game to game. It's not that big a deal if he comes out and he says this, and then he'll go out and put out the best possible team to give him a chance to go and win. I don't think his players are at the stage where, you know, unless there is somebody who is seriously going to be doubtful for the return leg against Celta, I don't think anybody sits out. I think this fatigue narrative is something he's built for the good of his team, which is why he often says stuff like this. But no, I don't expect wholesale changes. And yeah, I'm a little bit with Stevie. I could see a draw here. I think Arsenal, you know, aren't as bad as they've looked. I think that this is, you know, their last chance really to show a little bit of pride.
Against Manchester United this weekend. Let's just check what the SPI has to say. United actually go to Arsenal as favourites going into that tie. I don't really want to delve too much into a preview to that game, but I think everyone agrees it's been a pretty miserable season for both sides.
The SPI just said call the game off.
Well, yeah, indeed.
Well, that's what it said.
Bigger picture, which team has more work to do in the summer?
Well, can I take the fifth? Can I take the fifth on that one?
There's no doubt in my mind it's Arsenal. I just feel that in the market recently they've been dreadful. I mean, if you look at the key area, so it's in such a shambles, it needs an overhaul this side. Is Sanchez going to play? You know, is Ozil going to play because he's not going to get his 300 grand a week? So I think Arsenal's in a mess, to be honest.
Former Arsenal man, not impressed.
Yeah, without question, I also agree. I think it's Arsenal. When you look at how they've been solid defensively, at least that gives Manchester United something to start with, which I'm not sure Arsenal have at the moment.
Can I come at this from a slightly different angle? Well, I'm going to. I'm not.
Why are you
I'm not even going to ask you. It's a close one, right? But here's the difference, I think, is that Man United will go out and do something that will kind of make us sit up and go, yeah. I think that's almost a guarantee. Whether it be 2 or 3 players, Griezmann or whoever, they'll try and make some big moves. Mourinho will press for that. Arsenal, the boys mentioned the manager. Is it going to be him still there? Who the hell are they going to bring in? You know, they make promises they're going to bring this player. Oh, we nearly bid for Suarez, or we didn't bid enough. And we're going. So United will make a splash. Arsenal, if Wenger's still there, it'll be more of the same with promises of this will make the difference. No, it won't.
Boys, thank you very much for both teams. You could argue it is a season to forget, isn't it?
Team selection for Arsenal. I'm glossing over the gag.
Team selection for Morocco. Me and Quinny are out. Listen, the manager will check the lads tomorrow, see where all the levels are, and put a team out. Listen, I won't be surprised if he puts another strong team. Whoever we play, we've got a strong bench, or we had a strong bench tonight. Maybe a couple of changes. Fellaini out, Carrick in. Obviously, Marcus has maybe picked up an injury. Mickey T coming off as well. But listen, whatever team we put out will still be a strong team.
Well, straight away, you talk about the subs there. You think De Gea, Mata, Rooney, Martial,
exactly.
Smalling, Carrick.
Yeah, and 3 of those need game time. So there's no reason why the manager won't change it, and rightly so. But I do think that whatever he puts out would still be a good enough team to go down there and get something out of the game. But you've got to think of the bigger picture and think of next Thursday. We win that, we're in through to a final. Happy days. Lads will be buzzing. Fans are buzzing. Cup final away. Happy, that's what it's all about.
And we've had a few people talking about youngsters, giving youngsters a chance. We've seen recently Axel Tuanzebe on the bench, Tim Fosu-Mensah, Scott McTominay was on the bench at the weekend as well. So clearly there are a few that are in Jose Mourinho's thoughts.
But you have to be, how can I say, there's no point of just putting youngsters in just because the youngsters and the local players from United, they have to be good enough. And the manager will make that decision when he feels that young players done well. In terms of the Arsenal game, play whatever team, but have the focus of respecting the game first of all and trying to win the game. Next Thursday will take care of itself. I think we have to make sure we keep the momentum going and not kind of focus too much, resting players, put that negativity in their mind, you need to rest. Go and play, because it's Arsenal. We want to go down there and beat them and then deal with the next game. The next game will take care of itself. You go and focus on the Arsenal game now and respect that game. I'm sure that the Celtic game will take care of itself.
We're waiting for some reaction from Spain. This is the scene out there, the mix zone where we wait for players' reactions. They wander through from the dressing room there up against the Arsenal, and the fact that there's a lot of pressure on them at the moment because there's a lot of people down on Arsenal and down on Arsene Wenger in particular. So it's a good time to play them potentially on that front.
Of course it is, yeah. Yeah, 100%. 100%, just as Quinny said, go down there, put a performance on. He's not going to make that many changes to have the FA, piping up saying they've not done this, they haven't done that, they're disrespecting the game. But I say again, look after ourselves. Don't worry about whatever anyone else says about it all. Just let them crack on with it. Just look after ourselves. We've got a final to look forward to if our next game against Celta Vigo goes the right way. And that's how I think we should look at it.
Yeah,
I really do.
Big game on Thursday, of course, here at Old Trafford, and all the usual build-up and reaction here on MUTV. Let's get some reaction on email now. Bachman from Vancouver says, finally we got something we deserved. Great play by Rashford and proud performance by Pogba bossing midfield. Still cannot accept that we are that bad in front of goal, so the keepers must make some good saves. Why is it that we're not converting chances, he says?
Goalkeepers are making good saves. I mean, the one off Marcus early on in the game, top right hand corner, top left hand corner, couldn't really do much more about. Marcus couldn't have done much more about that. Maybe Jesse, when he went through, maybe trying to place it, just lash it with his laces. You saw him later on just lash one wide. He's got an unbelievable strike on him. Maybe just lash it at goal, But it's not worrying because we are creating chances. It'd be the other way around where you'd be thinking, listen, we've created one chance here. Last year under Van Gaal, we got games without even having a shot on target and stuff like that, and you'd have 78% possession. But now we are creating chances, and eventually it will turn. It will turn because you just can't keep on missing the chances we do. Eventually, they'll start going in the back of the net.
The good thing about the night is to see the team being so positive. Going away from home, we were well organised defensively, but in terms of going forward, oh my goodness, it was a joy to watch.
Let's get some
frightening at times.
Yeah, let's cross over to Spain now. We can get some reaction, in fact, from one of the United players playing tonight. Daley Blint is out there for us now with Stuart. Daley, who could see a reunion with Ajax, of course, the way that the two semi-finals have gone so far. Ajax winning 4-1 against Lyon and United in the driving seat against Celta Vigo. We'll see what happens next Thursday night. Gents, we've talked a lot about the attacking side of things from a United point of view, but what about the defensive side? Keeping a clean sheet tonight, all important, but also so many changes in the back line of late because of injuries and bumps, bruises, suspensions, things like that.
But that's what you expect. Being in Manchester United, you've got a big squad, And the players have come in, have done well. I mean, as at times, Ashley Young has played left back. Damian's come in, has been absolutely brilliant tonight. Antonio Valencia, can't praise him enough. He's been brilliant. And obviously, Chris Smalling is back now. Eric Bailly, he's been an absolute beast. And Daley Blind, I mean, left back, midfield, wherever he's played, he's been well. He's done well for the team. So the defence, like I said, amazing mentioned before, we keep a clean sheet. In terms of created chances, we will always create chances, and luckily for us, we took one tonight.
Indeed. OK, thanks, gents. We will get some more reaction to United's victory over in Vigo after this short break. Stay with us. Seemed pretty happy with the result generally, and clearly very happy with the performance, and particularly the goal from Marcus Rashford.
Of course, like you mentioned there, he was practicing in training, which you expect, and when he comes off, he's brilliant. But everyone knows now it's only the first leg, and you have to respect now this is the second game coming up at Old Trafford. The way we played tonight, you come with a little bit of confidence that you can, score more goals here at Old Trafford. But that game is done now. We need to focus now for the second leg.
Generally, obviously, Josie's sort of keeping it sensible and saying, United aren't through. It's only 1-0, which clearly is true. Yeah. We're delighted with what he's seen, not just from his team tonight, but surely from the opposition as well. It didn't hurt United that much.
No, considering they're at home as well. But what he will do, he'll respect them, and he'll make sure the players respect them. Because, as you say, we've got 1 foot into the final, but they could quite easily come in and score a goal, and then, they could make it difficult for us. But as Quinny said, if we perform the way we performed tonight, there's no reason why we can't, if we get an early goal, then that'd be great. What you don't want is 0-0 halfway through the second half, and they get a scabby goal. You don't want anything like that, but the manager will make sure that they are absolutely tuned in, and the players will know that as well, because it's as I said earlier, it's a fantastic opportunity to get to a final. Yeah,
you guys have played in these type of European games where away goals can change everything. How do you go from, how do you sort of control the emotions? When you play in the Premier League, you've just got to score more goals than the other team, whereas in these European games, the away goals mean that your head's sort of all over the place trying to work out the permutations of if they score next, what happens, if we score next, what happens.
You just make sure you do your job, which is first of all keep a clean sheet. You're well organised with the players we have and the players we had in the past. You knew we could create chances.
Yeah. And just go and win the game.
Yeah,
win the game, we're through.
We'll just break off because we're going to hear from Marouane Fellaini, who's with Stuart.
Well, Fellaini, are you happy with that, or might it have been even better?
I think 1-0 is a good result. It's not easy to win here. I think a big club lost here, so I think it's a great result. Now we have a second game, and we have to be ready because it will be a big game for us.
Did you always feel in control tonight here?
I think, yeah, we was in control. We know what we have to do. We defend well. We create some chances in first half, second half as well. So yeah, I think we deserve this goal.
Great goal from Marcus. Have you seen him do that in training?
Yeah, he has a great shot. We see that in the first half as well when the keeper saved the ball. Yeah, he has a great ability, so yeah, it's good for us.
I got the impression the crowd were trying to get you sent off. They're trying to get a second. Did you have to be careful in the game?
Yeah, but I control myself. The referee knew I did 2 fouls in the second half, but the referee no, it was not foul, so that's why he didn't give a yellow card. I think I control myself. I'm professional. I know what I have to do.
And do you feel that Celta can cause problems at Old Trafford? A lot of people think the tie's over, but of course it's not over yet, is it?
Yeah, it will be tough. We know that it's a good team. They can play. They have good players. But as well, we play in Old Trafford, in front of 75,000 people. The supporters. So we have to give everything Thursday.
The fans here were tremendous tonight. Are you hoping for a similar atmosphere from the United fans in a week's time, and can that make a difference?
I hope the supporters, they would give everything, so they can support us, and we can give as well. We give them back as well. So we need everything to arrive to the final.
And the big games just keep on coming. We've got a good squad. I mean, probably going to need that for the next league game.
Yeah, I think we have a lot of injuries. I think Ashley Young is injured today, It's difficult because we have a lot of games. We give everything in every game, but we have to keep going to try to win in Arsenal. It will be difficult, but we have the quality, we have the players, so I hope we will do it.
Is top four still a possibility in the Premier League and as well as the Europa?
It's an objective. We have to do that. We have the player, we have the team. With the staff, we want to do that, so we will give everything as well Saturday.
Well done, thank you. All the best.
Thank you to Marouane Fellaini talking to Stuart there, and ultimately he had to be quite controlled in that second half because the referee pulled out the yellow card very early on him in that game. He was on the tightrope right from the beginning, pretty much.
First of all, the yellow card wasn't a yellow card, but you just worried that the way some of the players went down for Celta, and you looked at their bench, the pressure they were putting on for the second yellow cards. He was lucky to get away with that, but look, he was sensible. He didn't dive into any crazy tackles, and luckily, he got through the game.
Indeed, we'll have to do without him against Arsenal, of course, because of his domestic suspension, but look forward to perhaps seeing him on Thursday in the second leg. Gents, thank you very much for your company tonight.
Pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Good to see you, and thank you very much for your company as well.